Welcome to the channel, everyone. Today we're going to be looking at what if Gerald Ford won against Jimmy Carter in 1976. Keep watching.
I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow. Vice President Ford will be sworn in as president at that hour in this office.
Hello, everybody. What if Gerald Ford, America's accidental president, had defeated Jimmy Carter in 1976? Will 1980 presidential election look the same? Let's take a look. Number 1. More political stability after Watergate. Ford was calming and a steady figure post-Nixon. Winning re-election would have reinforced the message of America's democracy and could have recovered from the Watergate scandal more quickly and better, and could have preserved moderate bipartisanship a bit longer. And the Republican Party could have had a better image. A possible stronger or faster response to the Iran hostage crisis. Ford was more pragmatic and closely connected to the US intelligence and defense establishments, and he may have acted more decisively and got the hostages out more quickly. Ford was more small government. Let me just. Lovely. Ford resisted over-regulation and large-scale government intervention, and he would have let markets adjust normally to the stagflation period, avoiding some of the ineffective wage price controls Jimmy Carter put on. More consistent Cold War policy. Carter, many people say, failed during the Cold War policies, but Ford likely would have maintained a tough but steady detent on the USSR, possibly having more talks and more better action, and possibly, like Nixon done, the nuclear arms deceleration, getting rid of nuclear weapons. During the 1976 campaign, Ford had a strong reputation of honesty, humility, and respect. A full Ford term would show the people what Ford was actually like and might have improved long-term trust in the presidency, especially after Watergate. Of course, the Watergate scandal has just shaken the public. And I mean, after the Watergate scandal, everyone didn't like the Republican Party. But Ford managed to turn that around. Not enough, though. So let's say he didn't say this.
There is no Soviet domination of Eastern Europe, and there never will be under a Ford administration. I'm sorry, could I just follow?
Then most people say lost in the election. The Iran crisis would have been quicker, as Carter's handling of the Iran hostage crisis deafened his presidency and hurt the US reputation. Ford, with a deeper intelligence and ties to pragmatic worldview, might have acted more swiftly or even prevented the entire thing with a firmer stance towards such a collapsing regime. With hopefully stagflation, inflation, recession stopping and the economy finally looking like it's making a win. With Ford's finishing term in 1980, it would look very different. But who would be the runner? Plus, if Ford did win the Reagan term, they might have pushed Reagan off until a bit later. Reagan might have not been president until 84 or 92. But after 1980, let's say Ford stepped down, and who could be on the ballot for 1980? On the Democratic side, Ted Kennedy or Jimmy Carter with a comeback? But he might be out of the picture, but most likely Ted Kennedy. On the Republican side, either Reagan or George Bush Sr., but Reagan would probably still run. Conclusion: Reagan would have probably still won with his Reaganomics idea and of smaller government, but maybe it wouldn't be such of a bigger landslide as it was in 1980. Now, in conclusion, Gerald Ford is often remembered as the accidental president. never voted in. But in this timeline, he earned his 4 years, and maybe that gives America a smoother transition from scandal to a steady economy. History doesn't give Ford that chance. But in this alternate timeline, in this alternate universe, the man who didn't seek the presidency might have been exactly what America needed. Not many people know Gerald Ford, apart from pardoning Nixon. He gave amnesty to Vietnam Dodgers, but he also had wind that caused recession. Then Carter took over with a promise of hope. Recession under him, the Iran hostage. And then Reagan took over, and Reagan was seen as prosperity, and he was. But remember, this is all just fantasy. What do you think would have happened if Ford had won? Comment down below. If you enjoyed this alternate history video, please comment down below what you like next. What if what if Robert Kennedy won president? What if Bernie Sanders won president in 2016? What if Reagan lost in 1980? What if Nixon never resigned? Oh, he would just be impeached. Anyway, comment down below what you think. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. If I've missed anything, comment down below. I love to hear your views, even if I do or don't agree with them. Like, subscribe, and share. Thank you very much. Thank you. See you at the next one.
Okay.
But things to keep in mind. Ford did not win in 1976. So who knows what could have happened? Some people may put in the comments, I'm wrong, America would have fallen, or I'm wrong, America could have done wonderful. But at the end of the day, no one knows.